The auction field was loud with laughter, shouting, and the crack of a whip. Beneath the metal roof, the crowd of buyers, farmers, traders, scavengers stood around the open pen where the next lot waited to be sold. But this time, it wasn't an animal, it was a girl. Her skin shimmered faintly like molten bronze under the dusty lights, and her eyes, pale, colorless, strange, followed the ground instead of the faces around her. The collar around her neck blinked a dull red, a sign of control. The auctioneer, a thick-bellied man in a grease-stained coat, shoved her forward by the shoulder. "She's not human," he shouted, his voice carrying over the restless murmurs. "Found on the outer fields of Galena 9. Half-starved, feral, but strong as a work mule. We'll start the bid at 500 credits." The crowd stirred. Some men leaned closer. Others chuckled. "She's got good muscle tone," one said. "But too wild," muttered another. "Wouldn't last a week without biting." In the back, leaning against a fence post, a man in a torn brown coat watched silently. His name was Jace Morrow, a farmer from the quiet edge of the frontier world. His farm sat miles away, just soil, sky, and silence. And he liked it that way. He'd only come to the auction for a sick plow drone. But what he saw in the pen froze him to the bone. The alien girl trembled when someone threw a pebble at her. Her knees buckled, but she didn't cry. She just straightened her spine again, like someone used to punishment. The auctioneer raised the whip when no one bid. "Come on! She'll do the work of 3 bots once you break her!" And that's when Jace stepped forward. "I'll take her," he said. The crowd turned, murmuring. The auctioneer blinked. "You?" "Yeah, I said I'll take her." 500, the man smirked. "You sure, farmer?" "She's not a pet. You'll regret it. Write it up." Jace tossed the payment chip onto the platform, then walked forward, ignoring the whispers. The girl looked up for the first time. Just a flicker, a flash of disbelief, and their eyes met. Hers were full of fear, but deeper than that, something else glimmered. Hope. When they reached his transport, she still hadn't spoken. Jace undid the control collar and tossed it into the dirt. "You can breathe now," he said quietly. She rubbed her neck, blinking, unsure what he meant. "No one's going to hurt you here," he added. The girl hesitated, then finally whispered something, her voice rasping like sandpaper. Why did you buy me?" Jace started the engine. "Didn't sit right. That's all." She frowned, watching him from the corner of her eye as if he were the strange one. His farm was small, tucked between rolling golden fields and the old irrigation canals. 2 barns leaned sideways, half-rusted, and a windmill creaked lazily in the breeze. "This is home," Jace said as they stepped out of the vehicle. She blinked. "Home?" "Yeah. You'll sleep in the spare room. Eat whatever you want. No collars, no chains." The alien girl looked at the open land as though it were a trick. "You're letting me stay?" "Long as you don't bite," Jace joked, forcing a smile. Her lips twitched. "I won't." That night he made soup and gave her one of his old flannel shirts. It hung loosely on her slender frame, the sleeves too long. She stared at the bowl before her for a long time before eating. "You got a name?" he asked. After a moment she whispered, "Syrah." He nodded. "I'm Jace." Her eyes lifted slightly. "You're human?" "Last I checked." Syrah hesitated. "Humans don't usually buy to free." Jace looked into the fire. Maybe they should. Days passed quietly. Syrah wandered the farm like a ghost at first, keeping to shadows, moving softly, always watching the horizon as though she expected someone to come take her back. Jace didn't push. He gave her simple chores, feeding the livestock, watering the synth grain, repairing fences. She did them with silent precision, never complaining, never resting until it was dark. One evening, he found her crouched beside the injured drone cow, a hybrid machine with a biological body. Its leg had been crushed in a fence collapse. Syrah's hands glowed faintly as she touched the wound. Jace froze. "What are you doing?" "Helping," she said simply. The glow dimmed and the cow stirred, letting out a weak grunt. The metal plates sealed. Jace stepped closer, amazed. "You healed it?" She nodded, eyes uncertain. "It's part of what I am." He rubbed the back of his neck. "Remind me never to doubt you again." Syrah looked at him then, really looked at him, and smiled for the first time. It was small, almost shy, but it changed everything. Weeks turned into months. The farm began to thrive again. Crops grew stronger, the air seemed cleaner, and even the water from the old pump tasted sweeter. Jace knew it wasn't luck. It was her. Sometimes he'd catch her standing barefoot in the fields, her skin glowing faintly in the twilight, the wheat bowing in the soft wind around her. He didn't ask how. He just let her be, but trouble came, as it always did. One morning, a black hover truck rolled up to the property. 3 armed men stepped out, corporate enforcers from the same auction syndicate. Jace Morrow. The leader barked. You bought a biological asset 3 months ago. That girl belongs to us. Jace's jaw tightened. She's not an asset. Wrong answer. The man smirked and drew a scanner. Our records show she's government property. Return her and we'll forget this. Sira appeared in the doorway, her eyes wide. Jace stepped in front of her. You're not taking her, the enforcer sneered. Don't play hero, farmer. She's worth more than your entire ranch. She's worth more than your whole damn planet. Jace growled. The man raised his weapon. Last chance. Jace moved first. He swung the pitchfork from the corner, knocking the gun aside. A shot went wide, scorching the fence post. Sira screamed, her hands flaring with light. A wave of energy exploded outward, knocking the enforcers flat on their backs. The earth rippled. The air itself seemed to bend. When it cleared, the men were gone, thrown halfway down the road, their truck sparking. Sira collapsed to her knees, shaking. I didn't mean to. Jace rushed forward, catching her before she fell. It's all right. You're safe. She looked up at him, eyes glistening. You risked your life for me. He brushed the dirt from her cheek. You risked yours for mine. That night, rain fell hard against the tin roof. Sira sat by the window, staring out at the drenched fields. They'll come again, she said softly. They don't stop once they've marked you. Jace poured 2 cups of tea and handed her one. Then we'll run. Run where? Anywhere that's not theirs. She turned toward him, her pale eyes reflecting the lamplight. You'd leave your home for me? He smiled faintly. Home isn't land. It's who's in it. For a long moment she said nothing. Then she reached out and placed her glowing hand over his. Then wherever you go, she whispered. That's home for me too. By dawn they were gone. The syndicate came later that morning, finding only empty barns and tire tracks vanishing into the dust. But somewhere beyond the frontier, past the old mining ranges and rust-colored valleys, a small transport ship lifted from the earth, carrying 2 silhouettes inside, a human farmer and the alien girl he refused to let be sold. Together, they crossed the stars toward freedom, toward a place no one would ever call her livestock again, and for the first time in her life, Sira smiled without fear.